Hi, Lee, and thank you so much for joining us in our Inspiring Women series in honor of Women's History Month.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's such a pleasure to be able to interview you for our viewers and have them get to know you and your career path. Can you tell a little bit about your career path and how you got to the role you're in today?
Yes, so I studied special education,
Mhm.
and I was a substitute teacher while I was in college in
Yeah.
Brockton Public Schools.
Okay.
And I kind of subbed in all different areas from kindergarten through 12th grade
Mhm.
to kind of really figure out what grade I wanted to eventually teach in. And I
Mhm.
thought that was middle school. So my first teaching job was in 2001
Mhm.
and at Brockton Public Schools, East Junior High. And I taught a substantially separate classroom of students with autism.
Mhm.
And I did that for 2 years. And
Mhm.
then I moved to Cape Cod and I worked at Barnstable High School
Mhm.
as a moderate special education teacher,
Mhm.
and where I taught an academic support class, but I also taught math. And then I did some co-teaching there with a few teachers. And I did that on and off for about 10 years between being home with my kids and doing tutoring on the side. And then
Mhm.
I started teaching at Sturgis Charter Public School, East Campus, in 2014. And I'm a special
Oh,
education teacher here, and I'm the transition coordinator, so helping students with life after Sturgis. So what would that look like, and kind of helping them, whether that looks like, whatever that looks like for them. Is it going to a trade school? Is it going to a four-year college? Is it going to two-year college? Is it going to work,
hmm.
military? And then I'm also teaching math also at Sturgis,
Oh,
10th grade
okay.
math.
Nice. Now, you mentioned where you began in college too. Did you imagine that you would be in this role today?
I never, if you had asked me back in college, I never would have imagined I would have been teaching high school. Um, I thought I was more like elementary
Yeah.
because I did my student teaching in a first grade class.
Hmm.
And then I just kind of wanted to be with the older kids, and I went to middle school and I really enjoyed that. But then when I got hired as a high school teacher, that's really just kind of where I found my thing, where I
Yeah.
wanted to stay. And the high school level is just really the age I really love working with.
Right. Okay. And now, as a teacher, you're leading your students. You're the leader of the classroom, in the many different roles that you have at the school. And I also know from the CIWB connection with you that you're very active in sports and in that kind of genre. So can you talk about what motivates you to step up and become a leader?
Well, I think it's really just fun to be with the kids.
Yeah.
So as much as I can get involved, and obviously that changes over the years because I have my own children at home. But um, I I'm coaching, and that's really fun. I coach cross country. I'm an assistant coach for cross country, and it's really fun because you get to see the kids in a different aspect. Like on the youth council, I get to,
Right.
I see these students in the classroom, and I'm teaching them, and we're working through assignments and all of that. But then to be able to be out in the community with them, or go to cross country meets with them, and go to
Yeah.
meetings with them, um, is just a really fun thing to do, to change it up, to see them outside of this classroom and the school.
Right, right. And now, do you feel in the leadership roles that you have, do you feel there are benefits to having women in leadership roles?
Oh, absolutely. Because I just, especially, well, it for the all students, to see females stepping up and being
Right.
able to kind of balance life and their career. And
Yeah.
um, it's hard for everyone, but it's nice when um, especially young females can see, like, I could do that too.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
it's not impossible.
Right. I love that. And I'm sure you see that with the young females that you teach and coach. So that's amazing.
Mhm.
Can you talk about the benefits that you've received from your leadership roles?
Oh, hands down, the relationships after the students leave. Um, being invited to, like, weddings and baby
Oh,
showers and stuff like that, and just getting those texts from students
right,
after they've left.
right.
We do a really neat thing here. COVID kind of stopped it for a couple of years, but where we have students that graduated come back and speak to our current students,
Cool.
and to hear them talk about not just me, but all their teachers that they worked with, and how it inspired them and helped them get through, and how they've used a lot of the skills that they've learned
Hmm.
into college or the workplace. It's really fun. To keep those relationships with the kids. I mean, obviously you lose them a little bit, but
Hmm.
always having contact with them, being able to call them or text them, and them the same. I mean, I just received a text about a month ago from a student, and it's just neat to have
Oh, that
to see that.
sounds, yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds so rewarding. You can certainly tell the passion you
Mhm.
have. So that's so awesome and valuable. Um, Now, can you talk about, is there anything you wish you knew earlier in your career?
Um, I, hmm.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, I think what probably early in my career, if something didn't go the way I planned, like let's say a lesson, I
Hmm.
really, um, I'd lose sleep on that.
Yeah.
If something went wrong, or the lesson it didn't follow the flow, or the so-called plan, like, and being a little bit kinder to myself about that, and that's okay. Like, they didn't get it today, but maybe tomorrow they will get it. And
Right.
maybe I was having a bad day of teaching. I just it was on me. But I think just being kinder to yourself, because I think a lot of the times we all can be a little bit too hard on ourselves,
Hmm.
um, and just the next class, the next day is we can hit the reset button.
Right. Absolutely. That's helpful advice for sure. And kind of switching gears a little bit and talking about mentorship, I know
Mhm.
you have many students that are actively involved in many of our young adult programs. So, in mentorship, we certainly see the benefits of that. Did you have a mentor at all growing up?
I mean, I don't think it wasn't an official mentor, but I had coaches, I had teachers, um, and I wouldn't, again, unofficial mentors now. I mean, I have people that I go to,
Right,
that I look up to. They probably don't even know it,
right,
that you go
right.
to for advice. I do remember, though, and I talk about this teacher often, my fourth grade teacher. Like, she was the teacher that she's probably the one that maybe realized maybe I do want to be a teacher, and not in fourth grade, but she's one that I always look back when I think about elementary school. I think about my fourth grade teacher, Mrs. McMahon, and I still have her in my head. Like, I want to be like her,
Hmm.
how she was, and just how she treated us as students.
Hmm.
She was she was just really kind.
Hmm. And now, do you draw any professional inspiration from other female leaders that you've come in contact with?
Yes, I think I mean, I'm always learning.
Hmm.
We have some, women leaders here at Sturgis, who
Right,
are
right,
in administration,
right.
and I think, and working now a little bit more in the community doing the transition planning. I gain a lot of knowledge from women who are in
Hmm.
leadership roles,
Hmm.
out in the community, and
Hmm.
definitely, like, I try to bring that back to my classroom, and also
Hmm.
just having people to talk to about things.
Absolutely.
You know, um,
Yeah, it's helpful to have those supportive network, and bouncing ideas off of
mhm,
each other is certainly key, I think, in everyone's career, no matter what path you follow.
mhm.
Um, Now, Lee, so you've certainly talked about the different roles you have and the how you're juggling so many things professionally. But I know you're also a mom, you're an athlete. How do you balance work and life?
Hmm. Sometimes I don't know if I do the best job. I think, again, we're hard on ourselves.
Yes.
I think just like, like scheduling, making sure that, you know, if I want to go for my run or a swim or a bike ride or something, I kind of schedule that into my day.
Right.
But trying my best not to miss things for my own kids, or even like my students, like going to games or anything here at Sturgis. I think it's just finding that balance of doing things for yourself too. But
Absolutely.
the first thing is the family comes first. So if something needs to kind of be taken off the table, it's not going to be my own kids' stuff.
Right.
It's not going to be the first to go. Sometimes it's waking up a little bit earlier to do whatever I need to do.
Yep. That's helpful. I think, you certainly learned how to organize your own lifestyle, time management. It all comes into play when trying to learn how to balance work and life.
And I feel like the more you have going on, the better I am with that,
Yeah, like the busier, the better. Yes.
The more time I have,
Right.
I don't work well with a lot of time.
Yeah, right. Well, Lee, we have one last question.
Okay.
What advice would you give to the next generation of young adult leaders that are just starting out their career?
I think be patient with where you are, and just because where you start is maybe not going to be where you land, in the end. I think we're always evolving and changing, and just being patient with yourself in the process, because who knows, in a couple, I never imagined this year I'd be teaching a 10th grade math class. I have math background, and we had some changes here at Sturgis, and the principal and our executive director came to me and asked me, would I teach a 10th grade math class? If you had asked me 6 months ago, even 3 months ago, I would have said, no, you're crazy.
Right.
So, and just being okay with the shifting and the changing. And
Absolutely. Well, Lee, that's great advice. All the insight and guidance you provided throughout the entire interview, I know is going to be helpful to our viewers, and especially our young viewers who are listening to this and as they start out their new career. So thank you so much for participating, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay.